Thanks, Paul. And look at all the white people. This is a white crowd, I tell you what. That's all right. Let me tell y'all a story. I'm from Little Rock. I grew up down there, son of a minister. Mom was a church secretary. I was homeschooled from 2nd through 8th grade. I started deciding that I wanted to go back to regular school when I got to be about 12. This had been my 8th grade year. So my parents said, well, that's all right. We'll go ahead and enroll you back. And I went to a school called Central Arkansas Christian. Anybody in here go to CAC? Anybody? Man, y'all sound excited. Well, that's understandable. Anyway, I went to CAC, and I joined the football team. And about the second week in the school, we were going to have our first game. So I was pretty excited. I got out of bed that morning. I'd stayed up late the night before because I was so excited, and I ran into the closet, and I grabbed some pants, and I put them on. And I noticed they were a little bit tight, but I had just bought new clothes like 2 days before, so I really didn't think too much about it. I went and got a white T-shirt, put it on, tucked it in, grabbed my football jersey. I was going to get to show off my football jersey at school, so I put that on. Went to school and got there, walked in. I was walking down the hall, and it was kind of an interesting day. You ever have an interesting day? Well, this is an interesting day for me. I was walking past this group of people over on my right, and I got past them. I walked up to my locker and was putting my combination in. Then one of the guys that was in that group of people came up and tapped me on the shoulder, and I turned and looked at him, and he said, "Hey, man, nice jeans." And I said, "Well, these are my new jeans. I just bought these a couple of days ago. Thank you for noticing how cool I am." And I walked off, not thinking anything about it. Now, all day long, people were coming up to me, second period, third period, lunch, fourth period, fifth period, sixth period. People were coming up to me like, "Hey, man, those jeans are awesome." And I said, "Well, thank you. I appreciate that. These are my new jeans. I just got them a couple of days ago. I know they're cool, and I know I'm cool. And I just appreciate you for noticing." And the icing on the cake was when a couple of older women came up to me, some freshmen, some 13-year-olds came up to me. And they said, "Hey, we just wanted to let you know that your jeans are totally awesome." And I said, "Well, thank you. You want my phone number?" They were like, "No." I said, "All right." Anyway, school was out, and it was customary on game day, a home game for the football team, to go down to the field house, change into what we called our lower extremities, our football pants, and go out behind the field house and practice drill. So I went down, got there just a little bit late. I can't remember why, but the field house was packed. All the football team was there. There were probably 50 or 60 guys in there. And a lot of these guys were the same ones who had been telling me, "Hey, man, your jeans are really cool all day." So anyway, I went up to my locker, I opened it up, I pulled out my football pants and I laid them down, I unbuttoned my jeans, and I pulled them down to step out of them, and that's when I noticed this little tag on the inside of my jeans that was black and had this cursive writing on it that said CHIC. And I know that's pronounced chic, but I thought it said chick at the time, so I said, "Chick?" And this kind of caused a commotion, and these guys kind of started laughing, and the guy beside me, Zach Neal, who graduated not too long ago from here, I think, said, "You mean you didn't know?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? I didn't know." And he reached down and he picked up my jeans and showed me the rear end of them, and it had real big in cursive writing, CHIC, chick. Those were my mama's jeans. Somehow they got stuck in my closet when she did the laundry. So I'd been going around all day with some jeans on that were way too tight that said CHIC chick across the rear end. So it's not a good day. Now, it would have been bad enough if it had stopped there, but the entire football team started laughing, and not only did they start laughing, I don't know who the jerk was that started it, but somebody started singing, "You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman." And the entire football team joined in. "You make me feel like a natural woman." And they called me Chick Boy for the next year. Now, I tell you that because I can pinpoint a moment in my life. Not only is the story mildly entertaining, it actually does have a point. I look back and I see that's when I started my quest for acceptance. And it started out with acceptance from these guys. I wanted to live down this Chick Boy thing, man. So I started doing some idiotic stuff to make people laugh and make them think I was cool so they'd forget the whole chick thing. So I eventually gained acceptance from my peers at school, and I loved it. And I loved it so much that I wanted to gain acceptance from a wider audience. Now, I want to ask you, who are the trendsetters in the world today? Who are the big baller shot callers? Who are on the cover of magazines? Who's getting written about in the newspapers? Well, celebrities. Celebrities are. I decided at that point that I wanted to make my goal, I wanted to be a celebrity somehow. Now, obviously, I don't have a face for TV. So I decided radio would be the best outlet for me. So I went to UCA. I studied broadcasting. About a year later, I got my first job in Memphis, Tennessee. Worked for 94.1 The Buzz in Memphis as a DJ there for a while. Then I worked down in Little Rock at a station called Lick that's out of business now. And just basically figured out that this was not as fulfilling as I thought it was. My quest for acceptance from man, I achieved my goal of becoming a celebrity on a small scale. It was locally. I was getting to hang out with rock bands. I was getting to, hang out and go to clubs and get free drinks and stuff. And that was pretty cool, but it wasn't the key to happiness that I thought it was. And I bring this up because I know at this point in your life, a lot of you guys may be on this same quest for acceptance. To make a long story short, I can elaborate on this, but I have a limited amount of time. To make a long story short, this quest for acceptance that I was on, that started with the whole chick thing, took me away from God. I was no longer looking to please God. I was looking to please others and ultimately myself through this. This led me down a rocky road that included drug use, it included alcoholism, all kinds of bad stuff. It eventually cost me pretty much any job that I tried to get. And it's made me very depressed because what I thought was going to fulfill me absolutely did not. In the depths of my depression, and I thank God for that depression, but in the depths of it, I cried out to God. And I tested him. Some of you guys have probably heard this story. But I prayed and I said, God, I'm going to open up this Bible that I haven't read in 3 years, and I want you to speak to me. If you speak to me, I'll believe in you. But if you don't, then I just don't even think life is worth living. He led me to Psalm 73, and I don't have time to read it, but basically it's a guy who saw these wicked men, Asaph who wrote it, saw these wicked people that he wanted to be like, that he was envious of, just like I was envious of these celebrities. But God showed him that these people who are on a quest for the acceptance of man and not of me, ultimately their end is not going to be a good one. God saved my life that day. I want to encourage you guys, and I know a lot of you in here are Christians, most of you probably, but a lot of you aren't, and you're looking for something. I want to encourage you and tell you from personal experience that there's nothing that's going to fulfill you other than God. Nothing. There's a God-shaped hole in every single person's heart in here, and there's nothing else that'll fit. It's God and God only. I also want to encourage you guys, and this will be my last word here today. I appreciate you guys having me out. Don't worry about what the men and women sitting around you are saying about you. Don't be concerned with that. Be concerned with what God and his angels are saying about you in heaven.